not call myself an expert in anything in life. One thing that I do not know very much about at all, other than the fact that I like drinking it, is bourbon. I'm trying to learn a lot about bourbon, and lucky for us, mostly lucky for me, Northern Row, their bourbon's ready. It's been tucked away down in the basement, and they're ready to share it with us. The paper plane is Northern Liberties small batch bourbon. That's what we're here for. It's got grilled peach puree, Aperol, Amaro Nonino, and fresh lemon juice. Oh, yes. Yes. That's what we're gonna start with. Grilled peach puree. Just dump it in my face. Is that an option? Can I just dump it in my face? It's a good cocktail. Welcome back. We're behind the bar, and if you know anything about me, you know that means we're probably going to do some drinking. We've got some serious drinking to do. This is a good product. This is something that I'm really excited to talk about. But we got to talk about Northern Row a little bit. Northern Row is a brewery and distillery here in Cincinnati. They've been making a ton of great beer for a while, and a ton of great spirits too. They've really started moving the needle in the last couple years with their spirit program, though. You guys have probably, if you live here in Cincinnati, you've probably seen this around the Cincinnati Gin. This is a collaboration with Molly Wellman. It's an amazing gin. I think the real star of their gin lineup, which is what I keep mostly behind the bar from Northern Row here, is gin. This barrel-aged gin. This stuff is amazing. It's delicious on its own. It's delicious in a cocktail. It's incredible stuff. Really, really good. But they've been waiting, and they've been working, and they've been aging this away for 6 years. This is their very first bourbon. They're making a little sub-brand for it called Northern Liberties Whiskey Company. I love it. They've done all of this design work in-house, so the label is designed by them. Obviously, the bourbon is made by them, aged by them, all of it. I mean, I could sit here and look at this label and just kind of get lost in it for a while. The sketch on here of kind of early Cincinnati with all of the Italianate architecture, the design work along the neck of the bottle here. This is on the actual bar in the tap room there. And they recreated it right there. It's awesome. Let's read it before we drink it. It says, always on the fringe, testing boundaries, chasing something just out of reach. That's the story of the Northern Liberties, our beloved Cincinnati neighborhood. Once beyond the city's grasp, a place where those with vision and vice carve their own path. Maybe it's daring, maybe it's adventure, maybe it's just the need to keep moving forward. We can't say we found exactly what drives us, but along the way, we've made some damn good whiskey. Each batch a little different than the last. So, fellow sojourner, take a moment, take the liberty. It's been a long road, enjoy some whiskey. That gets me fired up. It makes me want to drink some whiskey. Let's do it. 6 years. That's a long time to wait for a product. I think that's something that a lot of people don't appreciate about distilleries versus breweries. When you're a brewery, you open your doors and you just start making products. You do that if you're a distillery, but if you want to make bourbon, you make it and then you put it away. And then you make some more and you put it away. And you have to do that for years before you finally get your very first finished whiskey to come out into market. Now, a lot of distilleries will buy whiskey from another distillery and bottle it themselves or age it for a little bit longer and then bottle it. And that's fine. There's been some really great whiskey that's come out from doing it that way. That's what New Riff, who I love, they, for the first couple years of their business, all of their whiskey was under the OKI label, which was sourced from somewhere else. And it was delicious whiskey. And then once theirs was ready, they called it New Riff. I like it. All right, let's get ourselves a little pour of this. This is a high rye, I believe, is what they told me. It doesn't really say on here. Bottled and bond, 100 proof, which means it's boozy. All right, so right off the bat, it's kind of like a warm, brown, sugary kind of aroma to me. It's really good. It doesn't have like this really bad bite to it that I think some whiskeys do. Like it's smooth, which is a terrible word to describe because it doesn't really tell you anything. But it's just really well rounded, if that makes any sense. Like it's nice and approachable. Yeah, I definitely get like that brown sugar, baking spices. I get a little bit of like maybe a little bit of a butterscotch kind of thing, but not over the top. It's a really, really solid whiskey, and I love being able to have more and more local products. My whole thing is this be gnarly, drink local, drink and eat and shop, support local as much as you possibly can, which unfortunately for a lot of years when you started talking about behind your home bar, it was hard to do. There were not a lot. I would love to see the day come where every one of these bottles that's behind the bar has a local counterpart that is good enough that it will earn a spot behind the bar. We're getting there, and that makes me excited. That makes me really excited. I'm glad. I'm glad that we are living at the time that we are here in Cincinnati. Look, I'm sure that this era that they're talking about here, this early Cincinnati time when it was called the Northern Liberties and it was outside of the city, and I'm sure Cincinnati was a really cool place back then. I'm kind of happy that I live in Cincinnati today versus then. It's good whiskey. Good job, guys.